different skills, be it mechanical, be it team-oriented, decision-making stuff.
All right, we are into the draft, and this is game number 2. Evil Genius is just a game away from claiming a place in the semi-finals. They will join an elite group of teams already there, of course, IG, Virtus Pro, and OG.
And what do you know, Darkseer first phase banned.
Which means we'll bust out the Ricky this time.
Yep, it's gone up the ladder very quickly. Yep. Last pick in the SG Secret game, it was last pick by Secret, and then it went to the second phase. Now it's gone to the first phase to ban.
Yep, first phase ban. Yep.
Yep. So Ricky, that's one of Zai's best heroes so far. I think he plays it very well, and EG is a team that just does very well with vision control. SG gonna be the ones to take the Crystal Maiden, get that aura, fast gameplay, Enigma. Oh, so that's Tavo. Like, he loves this hero. I've seen him play Enigma in his pubs all the time, and he has like this sort of special build where he goes drums and like tries to fight with his team all the time. So maybe we'll see that. And EG straight away with the Rubik counter pick.
Yeah, we'll just steal it right back off you.
Yeah. Looking at some pub stats, Rubik very good hero versus the Crystal Maiden, and as for Enigma, you know, you got the big plays. You gotta steal the black hole.
It's definitely something enjoyable to watch. I mean, I think Rubik here, especially in the hands of Crit, is going to be deadly. He's been known to be one of the best players on that hero. Only other person I think we'd say is talking to FY.
I think these guys got the memo that Toby is casting this game as well.
Yeah, always helps when there's black holes involved, and especially if there's multiple black holes involved, which is likely what we're going to get.
Well, for Tavo's sake,
in this game,
I hope he just never casts his black hole.
Well, I think that's the other thing with this, isn't it? In all seriousness, when you're an Enigma and you've then got a Rubik, there's that automatic kind of I've got to be careful where I cast and how I cast because I don't want this to go.
For sure,
so
you're telling
it just puts a moment of doubt in their mind, doesn't it?
Right, you're telling your team, kill that Rubik.
Yeah.
Don't forget about everyone else. Just kill the Rubik, and then we're good. Then I can actually play my game.
Yeah, because it is disruptive, gods, isn't it?
Yeah, very.
First of all, you've got to try and think about how can I get a good black hole, and then you've got to think, well, can I cast it now? And all of that's got to happen within the space of a second.
And then sometimes you've maybe over-prioritized farming, trying to get like a Lincoln Sphere to stop that spell steal, and suddenly your team's falling behind because you're playing too greedy. Ricky's really hard to play against because he's a vision scouting hero that's going to find the Enigma's positioning. So very, very difficult Enigma game already.
It does look like EG have already kind of figured SG out in terms of what they might draft. Should they leave the Crystal Maiden open and then the Enigma open in first? I guess they would have banned it in the second round anyway.
We saw Enigma banned 4th or 5th, I think 5th banned last game because their offlane was still open, and I mean, EG have versed these guys a ton in pubs and stuff as well, so they're very well familiar with it.
Slark ban again. So 2 heroes that EG picked in the first game, meaning that they were thinking about that SG would take it, so they took it first. So SG can't get their hands on it, and now they ban it themselves. Talked about how teams who played like similar heroes, they understand the power and how much you can actually respect it. So let's look at Lina here, since it hasn't been banned yet. Very good hero with SGs. Has very good synergy with Crystal Maiden, stuns from Enigma. Wonder if EG will get rid of it. I really like SG's bans though. The Spectre, Troll, targeting Arteezy a little bit.
Yeah, Troll's kind of felt like one of those unsung heroes. We've seen a lot of teams be very effective with this this patch and here at this tournament, but really a hero we haven't talked about a lot.
Yeah, and right now, like, that's 3 Arteezy heroes already banned. And I would think Arteezy has like one of the smaller hero pools in this tournament in comparison to the other teams in a bit, because he has like some how do you say, he repetitions in the heroes that they picked for him.
It's been a lot of Spectre.
I mean,
sure.
it's
Spectre, Troll, Slark. There have been multiple of these.
Clinks he's played a few times, but those are more like the unconventional out there picks. And maybe you want to verse a Clinks because Clinks is maybe something. I mean, you verse a lot in NA pubs, and it's also not exactly the strongest hero right now.
And one of the big things is that teams look at EG and they look at maybe the other people, Zai, Crit, Sumail. Those are the guys you want to be banning out. Arteezy has been able to get those comfort picks and sort of those heroes that he's going to be able to succeed on.
He's played 7 so far at the Kiev Major. Slark 3 times, Troll twice, Spectre twice, Clinks twice, Anti-Mage twice, a Life Stealer and a Jug. So pretty solid meta picks for him. There's still a few of those available.
That Sand King you talked about, still open.
And Lina, both.
Yeah.
Nice Stalker. Okay.
Ooh.
Some vision.
Interesting.
It's pretty good versus the Ricky. You can always, if you get the gem with the eggs, you can just run around, find this guy. Now Ricky can't really become this moving ward that he's so good at being. And also against a Rubik, now you have some way to control him in the team fight. So you can just pop the silence on the Rubik. Okay, go Enigma.
Yeah. You mentioned having Enigma telling his team to go kill that Rubik. Well, Night Stalker, you don't have to maybe kill him. You can at least bully him away or silence him up.
Yeah, and now they have a much stronger timing as well. They understand like as soon as nighttime hits, it's good for us to just go 5-man, wrap on towers, try to pressure EG.
Yeah. Hides a bit of info too. Like you pick another support, you want to wait to see what cores EG is going, since EG have not revealed any of their cores until this pick here, the Abaddon.
Yeah, so the Abaddon, it's not something that we normally see Universe play. But I can see where they're coming from. They want to be able to contest SG's 5-man as well. So during the night, if they do run into an Abaddon, you normally don't really want to do that. Most of the time, you want to like split them up and try to pick off his team instead.
Yeah, he's only played it the once here at Kiev Major. Only the second time he'll have played it. He's usually favouring the Nature's Prophet and the Magnus 4 and 3 on those two.
Yeah, and definitely we saw those early bans target at least that Nature's Prophet, which has just been a deadly hero in the hands of Universe.
Now SG are going to have to go into their 1 and 2 positions.
Yep.
This is where like you can really see their lineup being rounded up. Like that's how they really like to do it.
Do you feel if they don't take the Lina here, it gets banned? Well, it
Terror
doesn't matter.
Blade.
They're going to pick out the Terror Blade.
Typically, the preference is last picking the mid over the carry when you have that 10 pick. Mid's like you want to. Mid is much more important to have a good matchup. Whereas, like I mean, carry, if you have a support there, you're okay with that. You can play a 2v1 lane, 3v1, 3v2. You can have a numbers advantage. Mid lane is that typical 1v1 matchup, so you want to have a lane advantage.
I wonder if EG will just pick Lina themselves now that they see a Terrorblade, something magical damage, AoE control for the illusions. Because right as it is, it's really hard for them to kill some really fat illusions.
Yep.
Yeah, hasn't been a popular pick for EG. I haven't picked it at all. I haven't picked a single Lina during the Kiev Major,
Invoker.
so they are going to go back for the Invoker. Has been the most popular Sumail hero here.
Yep.
Not so much stuns to get the Sunstrike kills off, but we have seen Sumail not really care too much about that.
Yeah,
He's
he's kind of immune to that kind of thing.
Yeah, he plays a solid Invoker all around. One thing that's interesting to me is that, you know, both 4DR and HFN have been able to switch out through that mid lane. You know, maybe that Terrorblade, you know, they wanted to wait to see what Sumail saw, and then maybe push that into the safe lane just to protect that hero, make sure he gets his farm.
I see. Maybe they want to go for the Templar Assassin here against the Invoker.
Yeah. One thing SGesports kind of lack is that, like, blink initially, like that catch. You've got disables, like in the sense that Night Stalker, Enigma's Malefic, you've got Frostbite, but you don't have like a hero to immediately jump the Invoker, stun him, lock him down, and let the Terrorblade kill him. Because TB can match up okay versus Invoker when he's like fairly low armor, high physical burst damage, but you need that like insta stun to enable the TB to do that.
So they do ban the TA out.
Yeah, take the TA and take the Lycan.
Interesting.
Okay,
One of the special heroes.
Giving SG a little bit of a headache. Not a lot they can do with it though.
Lycan is somewhat of like a anti-carry as well. There aren't many core heroes that counter him except for like these offlaners. So I'm very interested to see how SG will respond to that pick. You might have been thinking about the Invoker, but this Lycan just throws you off.
Yeah, I mean, I look at SG's lineup, and they are definitely lacking in the stun department to be able to hold down that Lycan. That hero, if he gets out of control and, you know, maybe gets a BKB, the only thing they have to stop is the Enigma Black Hole here.
Yep. Hero that could be good is like an Axe that counters Lycan and Invoker, but it's not really a possibility. So Puck, it is.
Get some catch. I mean, that was going to be. It's not ideal because it doesn't give them maybe a secondary core. You've got an Enigma Puck together, but I really feel like they did lack that element of pick off.
Okay, predictions time. Game 2. EG on the verge of a semi-final place, or can SG pull it back? Gods, which way?
Going to stick with EG again. I think Sumail's, goes from one strength to another. The Queen of Pain game was phenomenal. He's playing his most played hero at this tournament just in the last couple of months. It's Invoker's Scare. I'm got to believe in him and EG to take game 2.
Okay.
Same thing for me. Evil Genius is really strong. Arteezy's Lycan, we haven't talked about it very much, but that is one of his signature heroes in my opinion. He plays that really well.
Okay.
I gotta go with EG on this one. Yeah. They just have the heroes. This Enigma, he can't just freely black hole in this game. It's very hard. They have Lycan for vision. So even if they're playing as Night Stalker, gotta go with EG.
All right. Okay. A clean sweep from our panel. It is EG all the way up here. Is that going to be the case as we head into game 2? Good luck to SG and EG.
It is game 2, SG going up against EG, who will be the greater G coming into this series. Obviously, SG have a long way to pick themselves up off the floor, Purge. Can they do it?
It's more like they felt like one flight of stairs down, and they're like, okay, we lost that game. Let's see if we can get back up to where they were. Just they're down. They can still see the finish line, though. They just got to start sprinting, maybe like pull their ankles, like do some cheap tactics, something like that.
Going down the stairs, just lean back and then just grab the feet out from EG.
Throw a banana peel ahead so that EG trips on the way there. Something.
Strategies.
There's things they can do to try to win this one. And
okay, so maybe the question should be, will EG break their hip going down the stairs?
They could throw,
here
yes.
in game 2.
They could
throw a hip.
Did they do the proper calcium building to have strong hips? I think they did. EG's been looking a lot better. I think they haven't looked as faltering as they maybe did during some of the group stage matches. So with that said, though, I think the TP pick was fantastic from SG because EG does have some AoE problems. Invoker's very good at that, but I feel like if SG gets ahead, they're going to take a lot of buildings. They've also got an Enigma as well, so their late game team fight is pretty good. There's some cool things about their draft, but I also like the Lycan response. Kind of does similar things. Can chase down some SG heroes. So we'll see how the game plays out.
It's again, we sit there in the position saying EG is very, very comfortable. Like Arteezy on a Lycan, EG Sumail, like you got offlane Universe for a bad, and it's like, how does SG even contest this? And do you contest it? Like, do you spend most of your time hunting the Riki in the early game? Is that where your mindset moves, or is it just purely, let's make sure the Enigma has a good time, Puck will take care of the rest?
It's definitely the other way around. Ricky's going to be hunting heroes for experience, whether it's going to be Cat jungling on Crystal Maiden or the Enigma jungling. He's obviously offlane Enigma, but at some point you can definitely contest his lane, because just Lycan alone with a Rubik and a Riki, they can certainly be able to kill Enigma if he shows up the lane. And this is an important D-ward here. Sentry going down, that's going to guarantee the large camp spawns, which means that Crit's going to be able to control the lane and force Enigma into the jungle, where Zai is therefore going to be able to profit from it. And instantly he's like, all right, I know Enigma's coming, time to take his last hits and briefly wait.
He's hanging around for the Kura, I think, unless he's going to, nope, as you said, Observer Ward.
So interestingly, he's actually swinging to the mid lane, maybe prioritizing the puck rest. Okay, just getting the ward down instead. This is to spot against potential rotations. And that ward actually can be really important when the Night Stalker does his first night roam. So that's going to cost Crit very slightly in terms of experience, but gets here just in time for the important thing, which is goodbye Clarity Potion, 50 gold. EG's winning. Check out the net worth.
You're saying game is won already? I thought that triggers you when I say that stuff this early on.
Well, the sentry goes down at least, so he will be see Zai approaching, but Zai's still going to be able to sap experience, so ultimately just fine for him. He did you see the courier going? All right, he's going to spot it now 100%. There's this fire trail as well, so what a Sunstrike snipe for that last hit. So does Zai get the courier? Surely he does, right?
It seems like they're not even moving the Ward Dog. They're not paying attention. When Zai's doing this, you have to be ready for it. So a courier kill goes the way of Evil Geniuses as SG missing out a little bit.
That was such a sloppy play by SG. There's no way that
that's Sumail's actually so low. ADR almost has him. Has to trigger off the salve. He'll actually end up canceling the salve as well of Sumail. A big advantage if you connect on the orb. Orb jump forward. Support's coming in from Universe. Wants to give him a little bit, and the shield will do the work. Cold Snap turning it back into ADR. They'll trigger the shield. There goes one, but Sumail up the hill, regenerating quickly. They'll trigger the try and they'll stay alive.
That was the howl from Arteezy coming in at the last moment. I mean, there was a small chance that that Sumail ends up surviving there, but howl making a difference. And hopefully Arteezy wanted to grab that. If not, I think he's going to be a little pissed off right now. They had to skill that ability just to keep him alive.
Well, he has a 0-1-2 build currently on the Lycan.
Yeah.
Do you actually want to prioritize that kind of stuff, or is it
It's
you
not
wait until
terrible.
later for the Wolves?
It really depends on what the matchup is. For his lane, he doesn't have to worry right now. But if Enigma does spend a lot of time in the lane, a lot of Feral Impulse early is very beneficial. He basically has a free Quelling Blade from Feral, and he's got the 4 HP regen. So helps him lane sustain, makes his regen go longer from his self-tango, and then later max out summon Wolves so they can spot enemy heroes. But do they need Wolves with a Riki? It's probably worth it, I would say. But you never know which way he wants to go.
Again, ADR trying to get right up in the face of Sumail while in the jungle. Cat's on the run from Zai. Reinforcements comes in from GRD as they try and beat out Dust. They need the Frostbite, holding him in position. Where's the reveal? There goes your Dust. Universe wants to break him free, waiting beautifully for the time to let that Aphotic Shield go to work and put Zai back into a kill zone. He does actually have the blink, so if he wants to, like Tavo's on the run, but up on top lane, Zai wants to jump on top of Cat, but he needs to keep it so close. There's the shield damage. Jump forward.
Oh,
no! He backed up! 5 HP! And the Cat, well, there's one of his 9 lives.
That was so greedy, but why did he even do that?
He tried to back up before he got voided or something along those lines.
Okay, what he wanted to do was he wanted to do the damage with the Blink Strike, let the shield break, and not break the invis. But he didn't realize that it wasn't going to get the kill, and he did. It kind of looked like he canceled his animation, so maybe was just trying to do the Blink Strike, maybe just fully cancel. He's going to maybe kill Puck mid.
You do have that Rift doing a little bit of extra damage, but the Cold Snap is difficult for ADR, but he'll drop down to 16 HP. In comes Canny, or Frostbite over onto Invoker. He wants to leave one last AWP to maybe help push the lane back out and allow him to TP home now.
I am still crushed by him missing that kill. Either way, he has been extremely successful this game. He's baited out a Dust that was countered instantly by Universe. He got a kill on the Courier. He's denied some clarities from the Enigma, but that would have really accelerated him. And the big item that he maybe would love to have is an Orb of Venom. King RD going to get some real pressure in here. They got to fight him.
They would love to. As, well, munching as many trees as you want to, but the pick up on Crit dragged him back in, and this damage, GRD, the first blood, it will still go the way of Evil Geniuses, even if Zai did miss it before.
This skill is really good. I have definitely underestimated this thing. The effect's double at night. That means by howling, these two guys just got plus 20 damage, and they hit for 53 right now, which means that that's a huge damage increase. That's like a 40% damage increase at this point in the game, not to mention a 100 HP bonus. So 2 heroes that hit kind of weak, but pretty easily kill the Night Stalker. Really nice moves there.
Tavo's moved back down to the bottom lane. He's still not getting as many levels as he would like to on the Enigma, but considering the Riki interference has been playing out, he's still going to be strong enough to repel the push from the Lycan.
And he's certainly got the gold too. Arcane Boots had a good time here. I mean, RTZ doesn't even care about this. He's got 3 points in Feral Impulse right now. You pop a Tango and sit there doing whatever you want, 15 HP per second.
Zai slipping in around the back. Now, you don't have, well, you got Dust on GRD. That's the one thing to be careful of. Telekinesis picking him up, and the jump forward. He never even got the Dust off, dies so quickly. Even the Courier was trying to deliver items in the middle of all of this. Cat gets the TP in, so at least keeps the 3 heroes of EG off the tower.
This damage is actually insane. It's incredible how much this does. And that's 1 skill point too. Another thing that could matter later, actually, is really nice night vision when Lycan uses Shapeshift. Like, it just feels like Lycan counters what Night Stalker does, right? If it's nighttime at all, Howl doubles an effectiveness, which kind of makes Night Stalker worse. And if he even gets reduced vision, like Lycan's vision gets boosted up.
Zai's trying to get out of here. He's got nothing to actually blink to. That's why Rube is coming in closer. So the jump down, the Dust was still able to connect, but Night Stalker picked up and just tossed back up the stairwell onto the other side of the smoke cloud.
Worth it again, another 90 gold for another Dust.
And another Observer Ward too, which is going to remain up for full duration. They put the sentry down, but they didn't find the obs on bottom lane. So EG have a lot of information, and it doesn't just come from Zai's movement.
On the mid lane, Puck's at 20 and 5. Sumail's at 30 and 8. So by all means, mid lane is being won. With that said, Universe isn't matching the Enigma. He never will in terms of farm, but in levels, he's actually ahead as well. Just hitting level 5, grabbing another bounty rune here. So things are going quite well for EG right now. I feel like the Lycan was certainly a hero that they were ready to pick, and in combo with the Riki, which I think is why they opened with it, is giving them a lot of early advantage.
Still haven't felt any presence coming in from this top lane. The Terrorblade not really achieving much. That top tower actually hasn't taken, is taken a couple of points of damage, but that's all. And now Zai's ready to gank him up, if possible, with Universe.
This could work. He doesn't have Sunder, but EG doesn't necessarily know that. They're going to start battling him, take some good damage. He can Metamorphosis, but they're scared right now. Look how they're playing. There's no way the EG feels really confident about this. They're so scared about a Sunder.
If they can do enough initial damage and then Zai keeps him inside the smoke screen, Sunstrike, he body blocks him up just a little bit. Now the smoke screen is down, but the combination of abilities just not connecting for Evil Geniuses. And Terrorblade's already leaving. He's like, okay, you're up on top. I go down bottom lane, and we now start making a push.
That's very unfortunate. Oh, I'm sorry. Did he use? Oh, he was holding skill point. I didn't realize. He was ready to Sunder if needed.
Jump middle lane. It's the run from Arteezy. I say the jump is more of a pouncing prance from Arteezy to get up to the tier 1 tower. ADR does get the distance on him.
And he's just gone. Goodbye.
But Terrorblade's now going to take the tier 1 tower on bottom lane. Metamorphosis triggered. They've got Enigma right behind him with a lot of conversions. You know, GRD come down as well.
That's one of the best things about Enigma, actually. That's kind of been undervalued recently by Enigma players. They just don't push towers with their Eidolons, but they do a pretty good amount of damage. They can duplicate up, and in combo with the Terrorblade here, very, very easy tower pressure. So EG finally losing some ground here. And I just think back to that Sunstrike. If Zai didn't block him at the time he did. At first I was confused because he wasn't body blocking, but
Cat. He actually got wolf blocked out of that one. Malphus done. Cat's going to get the distance. He wants to turn around and land a Frostbite if it's possible. The Sunstrike, they're waiting for Cat to come back into it. Instead of just going to connect over on Tavo. As Arteezy runs out, the Dire Observer Ward sees a hell of a lot. It'll also allow for ADR just to leg it in with the haste room, but he loops around, realizing the Samael is on top of the tier 1 tower. He'll need a little bit of help to get this one, but maybe with the speed, nope, he'll jump back towards his tower. Just trying to get the Invoker away from it.
So on the bright side, the skill build that Arteezy went for is definitely making him a lot more survivable. I feel like he's been in tons of engagements already, and he still doesn't take that much damage, so heals it back up, going to go for Armlet, a really good early fighting build. And I think he's going to be able to take enough damage to SG in the mid game. I feel like he's got the most last hits, but he feels pressurable this game. I don't know if you feel the same way, but between like Smoke Cloud and Cold Snap and even like Rubik Lift, they have the disables absolutely kill him before he gets the Sunder off.
But it might make a difference if he goes directly from Dragonlance into the Pike. Then Terrorblade might be able to get enough space to get himself out of the cloud.
That's a really good point. That might be something he needs to prioritize.
Because the Enigma's not. The Enigma's building drums in this game, and the Crystal Maiden, well, you know she's going to sacrifice herself heavily.
Yeah, the drums build is kind of cool. I've gone this before. It just makes your Eidolons attack faster and walk faster and stuff. Could really help go high ground as well. An extra 25% attack speed on TB illusions is fight changing sometimes. But one downside for EG is that Crit's very underleveled, only level 4 right now. Ricky in the same spot, just barely about to hit 4. So the level's not flying out for the supports. And that's what happens actually when you trade safe lanes really quick. You can't just go to the safe lane and start pulling to catch up. It's jungle or nothing, and for CM, for example, that's way easier to do.
Yep. As if she can keep it safe around there. Like, being stalked by wolves is not really the happiest place for a Crystal Maiden. And you can see that in the net worth instead. So while they might be a little bit behind in levels, the money for SG supports is lower by almost 1,000.
Speaking of net worth, have you noticed Invoker's farm? He's looking good.
Hand of Midas at the almost regular time, like it came out just before the 10-minute mark.
But I see that queued up Ags, and I'm like, you know what? He practically has that already, right? Let's be real. What's going to happen? Sumail's going to get a bunch of kills. It's going to get Ags fast.
Is that really how it's a prediction?
This happens so often that I don't even doubt this.
If they can defend the SG push, then yeah, I'll be all for that. But you know Terrorblade, every time Metamorphosis is going to come off cooldown, they'll use it just like Rasta. Put down the wards, do the push. Ricky, the Dream Call, out of catch out. Zai, secondary sentry is down so they can see him. So Ricky will fall, and this will allow the very heavy push. Metamorphosis up as well. And Samael, without that smoke cloud, without that little bit of a front liner, they have to put someone else there. Universe TP's in. He does have that ultimate available. So looking for that target. There is no Dream Call, and now maybe it is time to back out of there because you have GRD in way too far. The Observer will be taken out. So at least the vision game from EG becomes a little bit more rough. But we find ourselves in a 4v5 situation. Arteezy never arriving. He's making sure he finishes the armor before he joins the fight.
Yeah, he didn't even howl there. They felt very comfortable with that defense. It looked a little iffy, though. The tower took a lot of damage. Abaddon's mana was not very big, and it did force his rotation. All kind of because I ended up TPing or getting killed, but still cost 2-3 sentries for SG. They get 1 Observer Ward. They get the Ricky kill. I think that was ultimately really good for EG. They just need to keep delaying those Metamorphosis pushes because he's not going to be able to do that for another 80 seconds. So maybe it's time for EG to get a bit aggressive. Except for it's night.
Zai's got a target. He'll end up just stealing the bounty rune, so not looking for a kill. There's almost a maxed out Sunstrike for Sumail.
They don't have Dust for Zai, though. Oh, and he's going to get the DD as well.
Oh, this is just... Okay, now we might be able to go for it. If you can find the right position for the Sunstrike, then ADR is going to be in trouble. Tavo needs to go in for the black hole, but he can't do it. He was caught inside the smoke screen. Sunstrike went up to the target. Cat trying to force him back out again, triggering Universe's ultimate, but now Arteezy, he knows as a kill, just waiting for him under that tier 1 tower. But Cat gets killed by the dog. And Zai actually having the double kill, being the last one to get the last hit. So the rat, in fact, kills the cat.
Well, that Observer Ward made that fight so easy. As soon as the DD was grabbed and he knew Puck had already orbed to try to get to the DD rune in time, smokes dropped, guaranteed there's no black hole. Arteezy got to use his ultimate, feeling the moment to come from the right side, make the black hole harder, attack the same time the smoke cloud comes out. It's just easy cleanups there for EG, and they get a tier 1 out of it in the mid lane. During nighttime, the time when SG is supposed to be strong.
Yep. But GRD doesn't really have that much of an influence. Bottom lane, Rubik is on the run. Tavo's trying to do this solo, actually trying to steal anything that can help him. The stun does help, but the Terrorblade's on his way in, but into the tree lines. Crick just keeps going in deeper. Will there be some enough control with the throwback? No, there is not. Not with Cat arriving to help with the Frostbite. But 3 heroes having a hard time killing off a Rubik in the trees.
Yeah, he did some great juking at least.
Yep.
But in the meantime, EG's still getting the passive farm that it needs. Yeah, this is the typical time where Invoker kind of spends a lot of attacks on some Ancients and neutral creeps. It's about halfway, a little bit more than that, towards his Aghanim Scepter finishing. And the Lycan's actually catching up pretty close here to the Timber Saw. Or not the Timber, the Terrorblade, the other TB hero.
Only 700 away on the net worth. Still want to see more effectiveness coming out from SG.
What do you mean by that? Like find the right ganks, or?
Yeah, find the right ganks, but they can't really initiate. Because you can't put GRD on the front lines, as obviously SG found out when they tried to push him under the tier 1 tower. But Puck Dreamcall needs to be on the right targets too. And he used it to kill off the Riki and then continue to push in the mid-fight.
It's very difficult if EG positions correctly. And Zai even at this point is really wrapping from the back. This looks like a decent time to go, but Arteezy's going to have to TP. He's going for it at the shrine. Zai gets spotted. It's bad for him.
Yep, quick stuns. They need to kill him off. Not committing anything massive for it. Maybe a little bit of extra mana out from the Night Stalker. But with Metamorphosis up, Riki down once more. And the side lane's not pushing in that hard. They're looking to the tier 2 tower in mid. Even if they can just force out mispositioning from EG or a glyph on the tier 2 tower, that would still make it worthwhile for this push.
The tower's taking pretty good damage.
Careful.
They got Frostbite. It's definitely going to help kill Puck if needed, but the sentries are spotting the wolves. They know EG's still lurking here, looking for the kill.
Universe just runs in. As long as he's actually got the borrowed time, he can stay alive. Now it will actually be triggered. Smoke Cloud's nice. Sunstrike right in the money. Into the Sunstrike. Tavo and Cat, they soak it up, but you've got enough of a stun. It's the Dream Coil that comes out, canceling it up, and Zai takes a double kill. Arteezy wants to mop up the rest. He's chasing down ADR, and, well, GRD has to turn around. There's no other choice. A quick forward on Arteezy. The wolf form will wear off. And SG not coming out on top of that one.
Very close, though. I mean, technically they got the Riki kill prior to that. They got the Rubik kill, but it did cost them Black Hole as well as the CM and the Enigma Death, of course. It looked really good for SG, but a little too much damage there to clean them up.
Let's have a quick look at that fight again. Try and deal with the Wolves. Universe soaking up a couple of abilities.
And Arteezy runs right to the back line to kill the Crystal Maiden if possible. Sunstrike got him very, very low, and I think something interrupted. Maybe that was full duration Black Hole, but the Rubik left definitely helped a bit.
That wasn't a full duration Black Hole. That's why I thought maybe it was stolen Dream Call, but I checked Rubik and he actually didn't take it.
Probably was Cold Snap.
Cold Snap would have had the range for it because nothing else was close enough.
Yeah, and it's a little bit hard to notice sometimes. Possibly it was the Cold Snap that helped them out. So kind of a close fight there, but Sumail was ready.
Well,
I assume.
EG have arrived. There's a Mask of Madness with the armlet over on the Lycan, and Roshan is up. At the same time, they find a big opening with no Black Hole. The Sunstrike's right in the money, but it comes too late. Terrorblade sunders out Arteezy, and now it's SG trying to turn it around. Sunder stolen. Crit tries to give the light back over to Lycan, but it's still not going to be enough. Zai, what do you want to do? You're going to get dusted up and have the entire SG Brazilian team turn on you, giving the Terrorblade a double kill, orbing forward. ADR looking for an opening. No Dream Call to give them the control, but they trigger off the darkness, make it so EG, they go, well, dark for the moment as Rubik moves through the tree lines. GRD can't find the opening yet. Sumail still sticking around. They might have to accept this tier 1 tower's going to fall. There's no fortification to slow it up, but they do actually do a lot of damage onto the Night Stalker. But the bigger one is Samel. He's dropping quickly. The Midnight Pulse cleans up the trees. Borrow Time also triggered on Universe. Terrorblade's Metamorphosis has got a little bit more time in it, but last time SG tried to force a tier 2 tower, didn't work out that well, so they retreat for now. And the communication coordination issues just kind of hurting EG here. They should have been able to kill the TB, but the Sunstrike was just a fraction of a second way too late. Not way too late, but definitely very close. Comes too late, they don't kill the TB. He gets Sunder off on Lycan. That forces that awful situation. The Sunder from Crit was amazing and definitely helped a lot, but playing around and trying to teamfight around TB's Metamorphosis when you just aren't even close to killing that guy is a dangerous thing, and it happened time and time again. The second time, Sumail looking for the tower defense, but he didn't expect the Night Stalker to still be there, so they split up using their skills on different heroes, and ultimately Sumail's going to feel a little ditch, but once he realizes they split targets, makes a lot of sense why he got killed. EG's on the hunt. They're using the Riki to scout out. Now you have an Observer Ward down. Crystal Maiden's got 3 sentries, and she just planted it down. Easy vision over on Zai. And okay, you're going to commit dog form. You want to go in for this one. The Terrorblade's the bigger one, thanks to the Observer. They know exactly, but the Sunder, it comes down from Terrorblade. There's no Metamorphosis, but Arteezy down so low, has to armor toggle it back up again. Chris doing his work, actually some pretty damn decent work, holding the Terrorblade in position with the telekinesis, but still, it's 2 heroes going the way of SG. They want more. Frostbite and Abaddon. Shield will break free. Dust is on Riki, so Zai being revealed once more. It is up to Cat to chase the horse. Abaddon back into his base. I say base, jungle. Man, EG's lineup is just having so much trouble killing the guy they want to, and they keep trying to kill the Terrorblade at the start, but it's just leaving them vulnerable when the Sunder comes through. They expected the Rubik lift to grab him, throw him back into the smoke cloud perhaps, but Rubik got caught on the backside from the 2 supports who rotated from the left, and that again puts Arteezy in a bad spot. So it looked good for EG, but these last couple engagements have just been difficult fights to take, and they haven't executed it perfectly. And it seems at the start of every fight it's SG who keeps finding Zai on the back lines. Like that smoke screen you're talking about, like how do you ensure that happens when you have an Invis hero walk under a sentry ward or walk under the detection of SG? I mean, EG clearly didn't care about that because they did still commit after they spotted him. True. But you're right. It's got to be a little bit dangerous. Makes the initiations hard because your opponents are ready. They know that EG's got to go, and they know the Riki can see them. So we look towards Roshan once more with the Wolf. Zai's hovering around it too. SG don't want a bar of that. Like, they don't need to kill off Roshan. They have a terrible lineup for it. They would love to counter it. But for now, investing time into the farm, invested into the big items. The mech is actually done, but while that Dire Courier is dead, they can't really bring it out, but they can find a better target. The Sentry and Obs Ward is down once more. Zai trapped for the moment. He has to wait it out. The Malphite Stun will connect, and the Orb basically flies over Zai twice with the Malphite Stun, but he is away. I feel like Puck thinks his ultimate is only working on Riki this game or something. Every single time it's always going to be Riki. It's definitely good tries though. They just didn't feel too comfortable going to the low ground to actually engage and go for the kill. And even still, Terrorblade in the area is what they're most hopeful for. He does end up going for the really fast Hurricane Pike. Good call on that one. It's the item he needs to guarantee that he doesn't get caught under the smoke clouds. So EG's next plan to deal with this, I think, is give up on killing the Terrorblade first. They've clearly been having issues with it. Go for the supports, ideally, and then deal with Terrorblade later, perhaps, or try to wait until you have like Cold Snap plus Meteor to chain stun him enough so he doesn't get Sunder off. There might be a little bit more possible now. You have the Blink Dagger on Samael, so his positioning in fights is going to rapidly improve. And Arteezy's kind of more of a blunt instrument. Like, you just want to have the BKB, and you run at him. Just that simple. Movement speed, just charge yourself forward. And he's pretty good for damage, but I'm not entirely sure that he's ready to fully blow up the backline, at least until he gets BKB. Crystal Maiden's the easiest food there is on the map, but some of these other heroes have really good ways to deal with him diving at him. Enigma Black Hole on the ground, for example. Good money. 220 gold from killing off a wolf. Gotta love Midas. I was going to say, how? That's a lot. I know. So I was looking at it, it's like, they're just beating it down. He's going to commit a void. All right, boom, no, gold. And Night Stalker is working towards his Ags. It's about 3,500 gold away. And Universe going for teamfight items. Just pretty straightforward things as a whole. That Courier's finally delivered the 2 items I was looking for, so the mech as well as Hurricane Pike will be on the heroes of SG. Yeah, the mech kind of an interesting choice with Enigma, but
it really is like an early game battle build. It's pretty efficient, but the Midas skip just feels a little wrong to me slightly.
He's actually going for a Solar Crest as well, so it's not even like you're looking at like Blink BKB.
It's honestly the right choice. Considering you're against a Lycan and a Ricky, these guys are going to do so much damage to his backside if he's not paying attention, or if they catch the right initiation. I think just more armor works.
This smoke let him go in. Look at the damage Arteezy is doing to Roshan. He's going to be dead before SG could even respond to this. Universe runs in close, but damage is done. Roshan is dead, and EG had the Aegis Immortal into the hands of Sumail, and armed with that Blink Dagger, you know he's going to get aggressive. You asked for it before, like Sumail finding kills. Sumail is 22 minutes in without a single kill, not even a Sunstrike pick, nothing. It's 0-1-3 on this Invoker.
He's landed some Sunstrikes, but nothing to
nothing
produce.
that sends him critical.
He's also missed some crucial Sunstrikes as well that could have turned fights. SG ready to take the fight, though. They're looking in the enemy base. The Wolves are scouting out. This is exactly what they're afraid of right now.
Crit's going to be the only target. If he comes out just to Fadebolt this wave once, no, the Terrorblade revealed himself. So they won't find that. But at the same time, SG's got the tier 2 tower.
Yeah,
EG are not in position for this.
They should have been a little bit more patient, I think. They kind of just went for it right away. Dust was used actually because the smoke broke. They thought maybe they got the Ricky on the back line, but either way, tower falls, and SG will be back to push out lanes. Still very good ward vision for EG. I like where they've got their wards on the map. It's maybe they reacted correctly to that, but I kind of feel like if SG was just a little bit more patient, it would have been a dead crit. Like you said, I think he would approach, hit the wave. Maybe that allows them to hit the tower a little, force everybody on EG to TP back.
That's that gamble again, though, right? Like, it's not as bad as like going up against a Slark like game 1, but SG are sort of playing in the dark. They left that one Observer Ward down while they were pushing, and after they killed off the tower, but they didn't really see much more on the map. So Roshan goes down. Where did EG move off to? Do they want to take an objective? That's why GRD moves up north. He has his dust available. Zai is moving in deeper onto the Terrorblade, but this isn't a gank. There's nothing to work with here. Sumail doesn't have enough mana. He burns enough mana for Ghost Walk and TP away.
Yeah, it's more of a looking session. Just going to look at him. Free looks. Ricky does want to track the Terrorblade, though. It's pretty important. If they can keep eyes on him and engage on heroes in other places, it could be really useful. But they just their ability to gank on EG side is getting not that much better. After losing those last couple fights, Lycan is looking like a worse hero pick now.
With the Academ Scepter build on the Abaddon, does this actually make it so EG can take the fights? As if he doesn't die here and moves backwards, but okay, he'll be fine.
It's kind of an ability that really could just turn the scope of something like a black hole. I don't think you can activate it. You know, you might be able to activate it while you're getting black holed, but you'll probably instantly get disabled again, is my guess how it might work. But if it works that he can activate it, it's at least going to stop a lot of the AoE damage that could come out and possibly turn team fights in a big way. But if he's also silenced by Puck at the same time, then he can't break it. So it could definitely make an impact for sure, but I'm not super sold on it just yet. And also I feel like EG's going to not be this one cohesive clump of a team fight, with Lycan running fast, with Ricky going whichever way he needs to go to not die. Might work, might not.
Well, we'll definitely keep an eye on it for the fight. ADR, hey, that's a fun little jump in over on the Abaddon, especially considering it's right underneath a Radiant Observer Ward. But just before that, it was nighttime. They didn't really see anything with that Observer Ward. So we hit the daytime, and now it's up to SG to gank out. Interesting timing to do it when you don't have darkness available.
Yeah,
and we did hit. We're 2:39 away from nighttime.
It's definitely interesting, but it's also better in some cases, just because you're going to have vision advantage over your opponents. I mean, if you don't have Night Stalker Ags yet, sometimes it's a problem. Like last time they smoked, they approached the tier 2, smoke broke, but it was just heroes. They pop dust, they don't catch anything. So at least if it's daytime, you'll spot your opponents. Once they get Ags, yeah, absolutely. Nighttime is the big advantage. But until he finishes that in 1,000 gold, I think they're just going to look for fights when they have an advantage, and now is definitely that moment. Just EG hasn't scaled into the... there isn't a lot of contribution, I feel like, going to team fights from their side. It's basically just Sumail's skills, and obviously they can keep people alive with Abaddon, but Ricky's been having some trouble staying alive, and Lycan with BKB will do some good stuff, but it's not quite the same threat as a TB right now, it feels like.
Yeah. Right now.
Right now.
But it can scale. We already went over an hour for the first game. Who knows what we're going to get in the second game.
Yeah, but Lycan is not Slark. That's the problem. Very different heroes.
Hopefully we get our lag solved up pretty soon, because right now I'm getting creeped out by the eyes on the stage. You know, Zion crits like hero eyes on the portraits.
Oh yeah, that's pretty rare. I saw some
Don't
googly
think
eyes
we
the
get a
second
camera
ago.
on it, but it's like the eyes just remain, but the heads move.
I was actually looking at Lycan's icon. He's got a sound symbol because he used Mask of Madness. That's freaking me out, actually. I don't know about you.
He's muted. Arteezy's muted. How many reports did Arteezy get today?
Oh, hopefully none. I need him to
You
give me
know,
some more fantasy points this
It
game.
it reminds me of, what was that? The Spirited Away.
Yeah,
The guy from Spirited Away.
very similar.
Like when I see that, it just sits there the entire time.
You will have to ask the game to be unnamed where Dota came from, because clearly Dota 2 is its own standalone IP.
Obviously.
Well-crafted, unique abilities and hero names.
Yeah.
Nothing stolen.
Yeah. Gotta love that Lothar's pickup.
Careful. Don't say Sobi Mask. Don't you say it.
Well, you could always, if you really want the good one, it was the old name of Scythe.
Nope.
If you really, really want to poke the cauldron. All right.
Puck Egg's almost on the way as well. This is going to be really good against Lycan, the ultimate anti-mobility item. So you can either stand in the circle like a leash dog, or you can break it and be stunned for 4.5 seconds of your very limited 18-second ultimate. That's really valuable against Ortiz. But he's got to land it, I think, before BKB, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, or else then he can break free. I believe you're right.
I think. Because it says it doesn't pierce spell immunity, which surely means.
Yeah. Well, Sumail, the TPs are coming in. They want the opening. And it's going to be Tavo on the run and being burnt down by Sumail. He didn't even need help for that one.
There we go. First kill, right? He's on the board.
It took 26 minutes, but finally Sumail is not on a duck.
He was going to get one eventually. We all know that. So finally they get a kill. That's a big one too. No black hole for 30. You can buy back.
But now it's still bought space for everyone else. So you kill off the Enigma, fantastic, but that Aghanim is done on the puck.
Yeah.
You are getting Night Stalker close towards his Aghanim Scepter, now sitting 700 gold away from that. Crystal Maiden might be the sacrificial lamb at this point, sitting at 1.8k net worth, 26 minutes in. 3,000 behind the Ricky. It's a sad life.
It's very reminiscent of what Cat's been doing so far, though. I think he had when he was playing Warlock yesterday, a very similar situation. Like, they're owning, they're winning the game, and I look over, brown boots. What? Where's your wand, your force staff? He just buys all of the wards, it seems, for his team.
Dust triggers. They found Zai. He's going to trick to the trade. Doesn't remove the dust, but it buys him time to blink himself down to Universe.
Oh, they might ulti this. Oh, he could have caught 4, but he can't see them all.
Oh, if he does, like, if he still finds them running away, like, there's an observer. Now, the Sentry Ward got dewarded, but at least see one. There goes your Dream Call. It catches out Crit. So Crit has to stand around. He's actually going to try an Illusionary Orb himself away, but he's currently held in position, and then he still takes the stun, but he's inside the trees. Now, GRD will find him. You've got ADR right behind him, too, so the damage will be enough. Zai again puts down the smoke screen. Rubik trying to play the corner, but the Illusionary Orb will be able to connect. So Rubik down for 40 seconds. Metamorphosis is off cooldown, and you got a fresh 10-second BKB on the Terrorblade. Where do you go?
Crit maybe could have lived there. He actually blinked at the last moment. The Dream Coil is about to end. I don't know if he was looking at the timer or just felt like it would be better to get out of the circle, but 4.5 seconds of stun is, well, actually it was only 3, but that's a monumental amount of time.
He may not have actually realized the Aghanim Scepter was up, because there's a 2-second difference in the duration.
Is there? Oh, there is actually, yeah.
So he may have thought he actually had the window, and it should be gone at that point.
I think most players are definitely going to look more at the icon than count the seconds in their head for an ability that long.
True.
But yeah, a little bit of a painful death, but not a big deal. I mean, having Blink Dagger at this point as a Rubik is still a great place to be. He's still fairly tanky. There's a lot of really good spells to steal this game, in fact. Like, we haven't talked about that at all. Could see multiple black holes. Surely we will, right?
I'm hoping so.
He's going to cast it eventually.
I am optimistic, Purge.
Blink Dagger queued, Guardian Greaves as well from the Enigma, so...
There's Aghanim Scepter's rolling out. So Night Stalker's finished his. He's almost got enough money for a gem. The Aghanim is over on the Abaddon. We already mentioned the one on the puck. And now no one else is going to buy an Aghanim Scepter.
What about Ricky? This is a good game for Aghanim Scepter on Ricky. Jump into Lycan, just...
I think control from Diffuser Blade may be a lot more valuable for Zai.
It is, but what about afterwards? You never know. He's going to run around rapidly until he breaks the puck tether.
And then he can buy a Yule Scepter so he can cancel Black Hole or Freezing Field or any of these other critical abilities.
I'm sure at that point, Enigma will definitely have a solution to those kind of problems.
Yeah.
He definitely gets a BKB at some point.
Well, he's got Blink Dagger in his buy and then Greaves at the moment. So that's his next item choices. Tier 1 tower on bottom lane goes down just before the 30-minute mark. It's taken EG that long to remove all the tier 1s.
And I'm sure they'd love to keep pushing, but the problem with delaying your tier 1 this long is that it gives them a glyph again, which means they can't actually pressure the tier 2 super safely.
And SG's already pushing the tier 2 tower up on top, and EG burnt the fortification to hold that.
So I'm kind of surprised to see EG actually putting a lot of effort into defending this one, but maybe they're just worried about I guess it is very difficult for them to do a death push on the tier 2 because it gives SG the ability to TP on the shrines and wrap from the back. That could be way too dangerous. Much safer for them to defend their tower, also have the ability to wrap behind and play it safe in that position, especially when SG has such good teamfight abilities.
Do you think it's worthwhile for TZ to switch off getting the Abyssal Blade in order to get a Monkey King bar against the Butterfly coming at the Terror Blade?
It could be really useful. I think maybe the reason to get it is possibly Crippling Fear. That mischance is also a big deal.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, Terror Blade just walked in the middle of him. Sunder, where he is, controlled the bash. It was there for a half a second. And that was enough to bring down Terror Blade. He did get the BKB off, but it didn't help him at all.
Dropped that instantly. He was already at 40%. Very rapid death there. And honestly, even if he gets a Sunder off, I think he maybe still goes down there. It would have been close. Probably would have taken a couple tornadoes, but in the long run, maybe gets it.
GRD needs to run closer to that normal warding position. It was SG that abused this Observer ward for a large period of time in Game 1. He just ran straight past it while having an Ags and Gem during nighttime.
Oh, Cat's
the dream for him,
here.
but Zai's going to come in close. Cat is out too far. What can you even do to help him? Absolutely nothing. Universe swings, cleaves, and gets the last one. And all Puck can do is do a little bit of chip damage against the EG lineup. There's 2 heroes down for SG.
And that's going to be 2 towers, actually. RTZ hitting the bottom one, getting me some sweet
Sumail's coming for
points.
the kill. He actually went to the top lane. He'll hit the Tornado over on Tavo. And with the Cold Snap coming off cooldown, EMP burn. He's lost the vision of Tavo in the tree line, but now he'll find it again. Linkersphere triggered. What are you going to do? Try and black hole in the middle of all of this? Sunstrike's on the money, and Enigma will fall. Sumail does it solo.
And if Enigma actually had a Blink Dagger there, he could have just juked in the trees long enough to get out, but his item build has made him tanky, but not against magic damage. Sumail is really the counter against him this game. And just EG outmaneuvering SG in the last couple of minutes, getting 2 tier 2s, tons of kills, taking the chase.
Okay, he triggered dog form, but then just runs away. Not looking for the fight. He actually did do it. He moved off BKB to finish the MKB now.
Okay.
But again, this Observer Ward was able to see so much more until the darkness was triggered. And it doesn't see Jack.
And I think EG did want to go in there. It's just there was a bit of a disengage, and at that point, it's not worth sprinting across the map just to go high ground. And it's a pretty low cooldown anyway, 60 seconds at this point in the game. We'll see if Lycan does go for the cooldown reduction or the evasion. Evasion's really valuable this game, actually. It's going to be a hard choice.
I suppose that'll be the last item though to try and counter it from Terrorblade if he does notice it. Like getting something like an MKB onto the Terrorblade.
That's actually one of the nicest things about an evasion value of that low. It's there, but is it worth buying a whole MKB for it that does nothing for your illusions other than True Strike?
Well, you still want to have a damage dealing item, right, as your last thing, so what would be better?
Well, I think he'll probably still do it just because of the Ricky Smoke Cloud. That's most likely the thing that's going to reflect it. Because Smoke Cloud obviously giving way too much. With that said, he's also got BKB. I don't know, maybe you won't even notice. RTZ could just go cooldown, honestly.
He just goes MKB and then into Refresher Roll. This game seems to be able to last long enough for both of those items.
On a TB?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
I do not buy the Refresher when you've got that Sunder talent at 25.
Oh, very true. I was actually thinking of it for the Metamorphosis. Have it for the fight and then for the push.
Nah. Just combine them, no problem. Take a fight outside their base, win the fight, easy, take the racks. Who needs Refresher? Scotty's probably this last item. Maybe. Doesn't work so well against Lycan.
Well, watch it closely. The Courier flying right over the top of the EG Spoke maneuvering, and they're coming down south. It was ADR who was pushing it out, and now he comes home. The man being so greedy. Like, poor Cat sitting at level 12, and he's taking the tomes to push up to level 25.
That's because he's about to bankroll this team, man.
He's going to go for the 420?
100%. I haven't seen a single Puck actually get the Illusory Orb speed since I got buffed, which is hilarious because it was at like, what, 300, 320, 340 GPM for so long. It got buffed very slightly, 80 GPM, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my god. I guess it's Moon Shards, actually. That's the big thing. it's all about moonshards. Like, even if you do 6 slot on puck, you can still actually give your team something else.
SG just smoked right on top of the Observer Ward. They're slipping down to Roshan, even grabbing the Illusion Rune. There's a Wolf inside the pit. Now, that Sentry Ward doesn't actually detect it, but the Wolf will time out. And you know EG want to come in for this. Sunstrike connects. Sends a very clear message to SG. They know what's going on. Rubik gets the grab. It's only on the Night Stalker, and there's no follow-up to his initiation until Ricky gets a 3-man smoke cloud. Oh, actually 4 when Puck blinks into it. Still got the Dream Coil available, but they're retreating back out again. A quick 4-star. It gets the Night Stalker back up the hill, but it's the Enigma who's in trouble. Not enough life. He'll fall down, and Arteezy, dog form, tries to bring down the Terrorblade. He's a big one left to actually take this fight. The Puck and the Terrorblade versus America at the moment. He'll go down. Zai's still alive. The orb up. ADR, he's actually away. The Dream Coil allows him to survive. But again, EG out on top of the fight and now looking towards Roshan.
The Basher once again just absolutely working at the perfect moment, guaranteeing the TB death. He did actually use Sunder already, so maybe it didn't matter a whole lot, but really, EG just slowly overpowering their opponents. The initiation was really solid, of course. The Night Stalker into the back line. Zai was able to gap close. The fights just seem so much easier if Ricky's not the guy that gets focused right at the start. He hits the back line, forces the supports back, and then it's just Enigma trying to stay alive against all this right click. Going to see the replay again. His initiation was beautiful.
4 mana on the smoke screen. They couldn't do anything at the start.
And look at the splitting as well. They have 2 SG heroes to the upper left, 2 to the bottom right, 1 running towards the shrine. It's like even if Enigma gets a black hole off right there, his team isn't in perfect position to take the fight afterwards.
Yep. Because even if you got the black hole off, Samel's 3-man Deafening Blast was just pushing all of SG out again. EG's positioning, EG's timing and combination of abilities are just looking so good in Game 2.
Arteezy looking slightly happier about that one. Almost every single clip we've seen of him so far was small mistake and a little bit of frustration, but I think Cat still looks confident here. They lost that fight, but they can still take a win here.
Yep. You still look for the big abilities. EG haven't gone inside the base. The worst thing for SG is losing a fight outside the base and then letting Lycan rip apart your racks. But if you can take the fight, you've got the Blink Dagger on the Enigma, you find that opening, you find the lockdown, and you find a fight on your terms. So far, everything has been on the terms of EG.
And they're still pushing across the map. Enigma still has Black Hole. Definitely a very different build on him. 120 GPM was his pick here without the Midas.
Second BKB's up. It's over on Puck, but trouble in the middle lane. BKB has to be triggered by the Terrorblade. That's down to 7 seconds of duration. Samel goes a long way in. Now the question is, does ADR really want to go for this? He has a Dream Call, but it's over on Arteezy. A long way back. Sunstrike's not going to connect anything. Cat's on the run. Tavo turns around for his own stun, but he's in the midst of the fight. Blink Dagger will get him a little bit further away as Cat gets dragged in, and he just starts letting it go. Very short timing because Cold Snap cancels it. Both teams poking and prodding and looking for a weakness, but so far, all they get is a small amount of blood drained from each side.
So they back up once again, push the lanes out. SG has to play pretty safe until they get Blacking Bar up again, but at least they didn't use Metamorphosis. They still were fishing for black holes, but very wise got out of there. The only person who was dancing on the edge of death was Crystal Maiden. He lives as well. Bracer kept him alive, definitely.
Zai is actually stalking the Night Stalker, which is hilarious considering Zai's carrying the gem that was actually ripped from the cold dead claws of this Night Stalker. More help has to be there. ADR's trying to do something, but the Ricky does so much damage. Another Diffusal Blade charge. The BKB has to phase shift and then get away. Deafening Blast, he waited out just long enough, and in comes Zai, but where's your detection? Zai starts his TP on the other side of the tree line, but they just can't see him.
It was a crazy fight. In the meantime, actually, at the start of that, the TB was trying to kill Crit here in the mid lane, and Universe barely got there in time to save him. He very almost went down, which is why that fight was so weird. It seemed like it was half the players, and they just couldn't clean up exactly who they needed. I think a lot of SG has to be grouped. It's the same problem as we saw in the Roche fight. If they're not in the same place, getting the black hole and the important heroes with the TB doing the right clicks at the right time, it's not going to work out. And that puts a lot of advantage towards EG because they're doing such a good job to split things up, make it difficult for SG to do that grouping.
Samel's actually in a bad position now. He's troubled for slots. This is his bad position. Octarine really sitting tough in the backpack while he's holding on to an Aegis.
Octarine not so good, guys.
Yeah.
He does need the Lincolns, though. He's got to worry about, like, Night Stalker silence is the big one.
He could potentially just switch out his boots. but their movement speed's going to be pretty good.
He does
exactly what he does.
That's what he's got to blink for.
Yep. That's your movement speed. Just get good positioning from the very start. Jump in, looks for the tornado. Actually does get the cold snap on the real Terrorblade. Sunstrike's not going to be able to connect. And Tavo is trying to prepare inside the tree line. Sunstrike didn't reveal him, and in fact, he doesn't feel confident enough anyway. Blinks away just in case.
They do have the ward on the high ground at least, so they can see the wraparound potential. But EG's just going to spread out super hard.
Such a defensive sentry ward too. Don't let him come in close. Samael trying to tank a lot of it with that Aegis the Immortal. He knows he's the frontline tank with 2.6k in the life. Can't get caught out by any major abilities, or if he does, if it is a major one from SG, he won't care. He'll come back to life again. Even Lotus Orb to protect him. Sunstrike connects. ADR down to half life.
And they're going to back off a little bit. Yeah, if it's Lycan hitting buildings, it's just a little bit too dangerous because melee range, way more out of position. So they'll just do some split push here. Yeah, they don't feel very safe trying to go high ground. It's just so dangerous. They get just a little too grouped, Enigma gets a kill. If the two heroes group for a heal because they go on one guy, could be a Puck ult that leads into Enigma black hole.
Look at Puck as well with his quick buy. I don't know if you mentioned it yet, but he's got Refresher Orb queued up.
Okay.
And he's just burning through every tome there is. But he just used the tome to move from 23 to 24. So he's trying to get to the 420.
That's an investment right there. Save your money, kids.
We've got 4 minutes until Roshan's up. That's actually going to be a half-decent spawn time for Roshan. 1 out of the 3 minutes.
It's good for EG. They definitely control the map a bit better. Have more invis heroes. They have gem advantage too. Yeah, they do actually. So.
And we've got a Bloodthorn as Terrorblade. He actually is going to go Bloodthorn over the Skadi.
Okay. I think he kind of needs this. It solves some evasion problems. Helps him kill Ricky. I guess the disable heroes like Rubik. He can get solo kills basically. That part's kind of nice. It's a really easy way to beat the Lycan as well if the BKB's off cooldown. But he can just walk away as well.
The only downside is that he can't trigger off. I suppose you got mirror, reflection.
Oh, he's actually got Hurricane Pike though, so he can break Lycans and silence. So could hypothetically kill Invoker with this.
Oh, he just switched. He's now got the Ultimate Orb and the Orb of Venom sitting in his backpack. Okay. He switched.
Yeah, I don't know. I took some hard justification to say Bloodthorn was good there. Scotty's just a lot safer. He'll put his HP near 3k, and the obvious slow is going to be really useful against heroes like Invoker.
Night Stalker has finally managed to afford his gem again. So we are another 2 minutes, 15 seconds away from nighttime.
And then we'll probably see SG get busy again.
Yeah.
Most likely. Ooh, he's queuing up a Tome of Knowledge. That's not safe. That's a good way to get yelled at by your Puck player, guys.
Unless he's buying it for the Puck.
Yeah, that's another way.
They're trying to save the money so they can get the double Dream Coil control.
That's a potential. He's almost 25 though. He's just going to finish this up in the jungle.
Okay, and Puck's now put extra things into his quick buy. He's actually got the Scythe of Vice. So he's trying to get Refresher for double coil plus double Hex. This is optimistic for a Puck.
That's going to be really good, actually.
They're going to delay this game a long, long time. I suppose you do have a Terrorblade, but it's a Terrorblade without BTs. Like the Terrorblade who went treads. So split push isn't really the greatest thing here from SG. The conversions do help with that, however. It's something the Enigma is capable of doing for his team. And with a Puck having BTs, he's doing the same thing.
But it's not obviously the... I mean, it's a great aspect of Terrorblade is split pushing lanes, but I don't think they really want to get that far from the base anyways.
Wait until EG comes to you. Buy it and they will come. Like, is this Field of Brazil?
It's just very dangerous. Like, they have enough mobile heroes. They've got a little bit of BOT. I mean, they've got tons of stuns. Way more single target disable than SG has. SG's got Black Hole, but past that, they're not going to be able to guaranteed lock down somebody for 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Whereas on the other side, they've got Rubik Glyph, they've got whatever they steal. They got an Abyssal Blade on Lycan. Invoker spells.
These next fights are going to be fun. Almost everybody has buyback. Nightstalker and Crystal Main, the only one short of it. And the wards are gone. There's only one aggressive one down from EG next to the Dire Shrine and up on top lane, so 2.
I like that word. It's really good. We'll spot him leaving the base. And the hero that may not go up there is probably Nightstalker, actually, because he's going to be the one pushing lane, or not pushing lanes, but looking to scout. The one that pushes lanes is going to be up in that lane.
He just lost his nighttime vision again, too. So it's back up in 10 seconds.
10 whole seconds of terror.
Critical time.
What's that like to be scared of the daytime? What do you think?
Never had that problem, man.
Maybe he just needs glasses. That would solve all the problems. All right, never mind. He's scary now. His mouth open. Yeah, his face or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, they're blocking Crystal Maiden here.
Wait for it. The Wolf is doing the work. The jump forward and Sunstrike. Hey!
His first Sunstrike kill. Good for him. 5 kills now on Sumail.
Rack it and stack him. Roshan's about to spawn. Like, he's really, really close. So you just lost your Crystal Maiden. If GRD actually runs down far enough, he doesn't have to go that far to check for Roshan, but he's up in 1 second, and the perfect timing from Sumail. Second Sunstrike in the last couple of seconds. He's able to see Roshan, but SG also had that information, and he's looking. He's checking every single possible cliff to work out what's going on. But Artee's got so much vision too. He actually went for the plus, actually did he do it? No, he went for the plus 15% shapeshift duration.
Yeah, that one's
I thought
really
I saw the pop-up
good.
show the opposite.
The Wolves is great. Like, 4 Wolves is amazing. You can spread them across the map, and surely Arteezy can handle that, but basically doubling your shapeshift duration, you don't pass this up. 33 seconds out of 60 is amazing. The only downside is if you die with Aegis or you have to buy back. Then it's still going to be on cooldown for a long time. So he's got to be a little careful in these fights. Net worth continuing here for the TB. Currently in the lead, just barely surpassing Sumail. But he's pretty much 6-slotted, so...
Yep. It's the money into the support items now, which is probably going to be the other critical thing to look for. Like, yeah, we can look for the puck. He has finished up the refresher orb, comes out in the courier now. Still a little bit off having his... Look at the gold income. You just sit on the puck, and it's just ticking like a casino machine. How big is the jackpot?
It's very static, actually. It's very predictable. It will grow.
Bit by bit until someone hits the mother load.
It's like a pension or something like that. Maybe how I describe it.
You're just watching
EG,
your 4K?
EG looking for their team fight now. Zai gonna lead, and Rubik as well. Oh, they've got a great vision. They got great vision. They see him.
Terrorblade just picked up a double damage rune, however, so this may work for their advantage. The blink down, here comes your Tornado, catching out the Crystal Maiden, but the Dream Call, catching huge Black Hole, stolen! He actually got a Rubik and silenced up. He can't let the Black Hole go just now. Do they have enough for this? You are losing the Rubik. It is SG coming out on top. Universe is the last man standing, and he's been put down. He just hit it. Salvo, the genius.
That was insane.
Welcome to the buyback central, EG. Come back to life again if you want to keep your base. Brazil's about to plant a flag.
He reacted so fast, but they did clump on the cliff. If SG would have just sat on the low ground, they would have had a better opportunity to spread out, but EG walked right into that. And like you pointed out, they were able to stop Crit from getting the reverse black hole. No way to stop it at that point. And no ultimate even for Lycan if he buys back.
They've almost got the tower down. ADR jumps in again. There's still no Lycan buyback. They're holding on to it. Here comes Universe's buyback. Terrorblade thrown up and towards the air. Still got the mana style. He'll pop back out and get away. The melee racks will not fall, but SG are happy with what they've done. A fantastic fight, a fantastic hit. And it really opens up a wound inside of EG. Wait. They haven't left just yet. There's still the Dream Call. Their BKBs are back up again. They see Zai coming out. They're assuming they're going to go for Roshan. So the Dream Call's on the back line with the silence to Tornado. It connects nicely over on the puck. He won't Dream Call back in again. And Cat is the man being chased. They still are trying to kill off Roshan. Down to 50%. Tornado will fly in, but SG's already got outside of the pit.
That's 5 buybacks for EG here. They've spent them all. If they die again, this could be the end of the game, possibly. But it's going to be hard.
They're going in for Roshan. There's no Black Hole, there's no Dream Coil, there's no Metamorphosis. So they will at least get the Aegis and Cheese out of their buybacks, but it costs 5 buybacks to claim the Roshan.
You know, for a 5 buyback, that's a pretty good trade.
Let's have a quick look at it again. The beautiful, the spectacular Dream Coil into a Wonder Hole.
All 5, and the puck silence on the right side, followed up by the Night Stalker silence, and Arteezy did his best, but way too much right-click damage from TB guarantees the fight win. Look at that.
Well, that didn't go according to plan. On this one, yeah, it did go according to plan.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're talking about. EG, okay, now how pressured do you feel? You got the Aegis Immortal in the hands of Sumail that actually gave it back over to the Invoker, and Lycan bypassed his Mask of Madness to grab the cheese. Do you push? Do you feel pressured? You're not a racks down yet.
No, there's no way. They're not going to SGesports this one. They got to wait it out. The Aegis is all to deter SG from taking a fight until they get buyback gold and respawn. That's the important thing, because if EG loses some heroes now, especially if SG can do it with simple pickoffs without using Black Hole, they're going to push that advantage and keep going and maybe close the game out.
Okay. What does ADR do with his money? Like, he's about to buy his second wave of BTs. He's got the refresher scythe, so this is up. They just started rolling in the dough like Scrooge McDuck right now. But what does he go after this? Do you moonshard Puck?
Not Puck. I would definitely give it to like TB first. TB's still in need of a moonshard. With that said, he could probably buy his own pretty soon.
He's got 5.4k. He'll be looking for his own refresher orb shortly. They're all getting BTs.
Basically, you buy every support item for the rest of the game, without a question. That's the min. So maybe Cat can finally finish his drum. Any moment, he'll get there.
His drum? Cat's changed.
Drum.
He's going 4-staff now.
Oh, that bracer wants to be. Look, it's going to use his ult on a creep wave.
That's the value bracer. That's like the leap branch, man. It's the value bracer to stay alive for Cat. But
It's part of living, for sure. I don't know, maybe Dagon E-Blade, he can rotate his item builds if he really wants to, but he's more concerned about surviving and having Disable right now. Getting his Ags off, getting 2 Ags off, that's a really good way to actually counter the Lycan.
No risk Dota when you only use the illusions of Terrorblade to bring down the Shrine, and they're just the melee ones. There's no buff up on these guys. Arteezy is still massively stacked, but he's considering now the Assault Cuirass. Still a while off having that plus buyback, but you can also understand too, the fact they got the Aegis the Immortal is another 4 minutes before that buyback comes off cooldown for the Lycan. They have to use practically all the time. The Aegis will be reclaimed in just over 2 minutes, so there will be a 2-minute window SG will have while there's no Aegis and no buyback on the Lycan.
So that window is going to be about, what, a minute long total? No, for Lycan actually it's a little bit longer. He bought back much later in the fight.
Yeah, a minute to 2 minutes.
That was the, I want to ensure that we get Roche in Aegis buyback from Arteezy. Which makes a lot of sense, because really if he saves his buyback, they get 5-man wiped, and it's just him with no Lycan ult. Yeah, it's not going to make a difference. Aegis was the right move here. But can SG hit the timing? I'm sure the EG is just going to sit in their base during that 1 minute period. They do not want this game to end like that. But when you buy back that many times, it definitely affects your overall gold advantage.
4th BKB is up. It's over on the Night Stalker flying on the Courier. So he'll have his immunity at full 10 seconds. Obviously you're down to 5 seconds for the Terrorblade. He's actually finishing up his 2nd level of BTs. They all want to do this one hero TP jump in, if it's possible. But that damage sounds so sick.
Yeah. Very crunchy, right?
Here come the drums, here come the drums.
So BOT's 2 is going to give him really good ability to just pick off solo heroes. Puck can basically facilitate that, walk around by himself, get the Blink Hex when they're anticipating it, and TP heroes in at the same time.
Surprised that actually, like with all these BTs being picked up, you put Tavo on the bottom lane. Mr. Black Hole, who's looking at a Lincoln Sphere, so he only wants to have one Black Hole work. But it does stop the Rubik from instantly grabbing and stealing his Black Hole.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the only way it gets interrupted, right? Nothing else is going to stop it unless he can steal a spell that
unless he's sitting
breaks.
right on the edge that Lycan can run around and Abyssal Blade him. That's the only other way.
I don't think that works, unless that's the move. Aether Lens on Lycan. Abyssal Blade from 200 more units away. No, there's no way.
Yeah. That's
not the play.
It's Enigma not standing in the middle of his own Black Hole. That's the only way it works for a Lycan.
I don't even know if that works. My range might be too much. I'd have to test it, but he's certainly going to keep getting more and more farmed here. Not the same as what we normally expect from an Enigma, and by skipping the cooldown reduction perk instead of the gold one, he's not going to have that like 80-second Black Hole with Refresher Orb thing that S4 likes showing off. But his build has still been pretty effective, and he's going to continue trying to farm those items. I'm sure he wishes Puck could buy stuff for him, but his farm trajectory has not really been the same as some of the other heroes. But he's actually getting close to Lycan even. He's only 6,000 gold behind.
I'm actually waiting for the gold per minute for Puck to jump. I don't think the talent affects it. He's sitting at 701 gold per minute on the Puck.
Maybe it's so fast that it offsets the lack of farm he got before the talent was in the game for him. Who knows?
Just a fun little thing. The Terrorblade is also approaching 1,000 gold per minute.
That's actually pretty incredible.
Because the money is just rolling in. Now he doesn't have the same 420. Like everything he's getting is just from the farm, maybe the players, heroes, whatever, and creeps.
Just straight up hard work, right?
Yep. He does it the old-fashioned way.
Did you say hard work and dedication?
I would say hard work and dedication.
Ooh, Tornado does spot out Terrorblade. One small piece of information for EG as they sit in their base. Buy back up for RTZ in about 35 seconds.
But Enigma now has that Lincoln Sphere coming on the Courier, and straight into the quick buy goes the Refresher. So this team fight, like the AoE control which is going to come in from SG, it looks unstoppable. And on top of that, going this late into the game with so many items on the field, you know that you're just asking the question, can EG get the vision advantage to even take a fight when you're up against the Night Stalker?
I mean, I'm sure that they can. It's just going to take some careful wards. And against a gem, that's also difficult. And I'm sure RTZ wishes he could just permanently be in shapeshift and offset some of that. Wolves are helping too. It's basically forcing SG to roam around and look for them and kill them.
Well, they're trying. They're not finding anything, so they just keep pushing in the lanes instead.
They got 2 dead wolves just now, believe it or not.
Critical moment.
It helps, but still safely pushing side lanes.
Yeah, the amount of money which is actually coming into Samael now, it's also, like, he's got both the Shivas and a Refresher Orb just sitting in his inventory. I'm wondering what even the, like, what he swaps the Shivas out for. Like, I understand the Refresher Orb sitting there.
Well, you don't want to swap it for
so
BKB.
When you burn your BKB, then you trigger then you put the Shivas in.
Well, you technically want to do pop BKB, swap the Refresher in for an item, pop Refresher, then you pop the BKB again, swap the Refresher and the BKB out, swap and Shiva, something like that. Something only I can't even play Invoker the regular way, and this guy is going to swap items on top of that. It's insane.
He's probably going to make it seem effortless as well. It's like, yeah, so this is exactly what I did. Like, even if EG do lose the fight, I'd still love to see, or if EG do win the fight, I'd love to see the timing, the player perspective of Samael. Zai's on the hunt. They actually triggered RTZ's form. They're looking for the Enigma. Enigma's just pushing out the lane. Blink Dagger, 1 second. He's got it. He'll blink away. RTZ's trying to keep up.
Can't even get him, though. I mean, he's got Lincoln Sphere. It's going to stop the Abyssal Blade.
But you had the Blink Dagger with the fresh Blink over on Ricky with Diffusal. It may have been enough to catch him.
Yeah, maybe. They did use, ultimately, the Lycan ult to try to get vision. It's one good advantage. Actually, it doesn't even work during Night Stalker nighttime. It still reduces his vision. That's tough.
That's a hard dog life.
Now, when Lycan's in the darkness and he uses his ultimate, is it heard by the enemy team? The Tree Falls question. Any idea? I feel like you don't if it's in darkness. We don't know. That's clear.
Yeah, we don't. I'm not the mechanic boy.
That's right, that's mine. I failed.
Yeah,
I don't play
you.
carries so much.
Teach me Dota, Perch. Teach me Dota.
Well, Lycan is one of my randoms, I must say. I random him very often. But don't know that one. So, yeah, SG just playing safe here. Continuing to farm up. I think they feel like they're getting a pretty favorable lead. We're queuing up some moon shards. 8,000 gold for the puck. Anybody gotten one yet? Still no moon shards. This is the greediest puck I think I've ever seen. He's got that perk for like 15 minutes.
He bought an AC, like, so he can switch his BTs out for the Assault Cuirass. So he's at least
that's
got
Shivas, but yeah.
Oh, sorry, Shivas.
No, he's had that actually. It was for the Refresher, I think. Was
yeah,
his
you're
first
right.
Purchase. BOTs 2 and the Refresher. He spent 7,000 gold on himself.
I clicked on Terrorblade. It was Terrorblade who has the Assault Cuirass sitting inside of his inventory. So you can switch those out for his BTs.
All right. That makes sense. 40 armor is definitely not enough.
But yeah, seriously, you got a surplus of 6.8k gold. Buy something. Unless he's considering... No. We don't have to go into rapier territory.
That's not the move this game.
That is definitely not the move.
Give the moon shard.
Lycan is probably the one who only really benefits from getting that rapier.
I could see it really work out for Night Stalker, actually.
Here we go. ADR. He's going to buy the moon shard now.
I thought they're clapping because...
No, the Russian commentators just said, congratulations, he's going to buy a moonshard, and he consumed it himself. Okay.
Of course.
The dragons are greedy. Well, obviously dragons are meant to hoard their gold. That's what a dragon does.
Oh, did he buy 2, though? No, I
think bought 1.
TB bought his own or something, because he's got 1 now, too.
Does he? Okay. I suppose Terrorblade has more money. He's sitting at 9.2k gold on the Terrorblade.
Please, let your Crystal Maiden get the last hits, guys.
Is it worth actually switching out Manta now?
I don't think that's very safe. I mean, I guess there's no Orchid on the enemy team, so perhaps you could opt for it, but the amount of damage that you get just by using it with Metamorphosis is amazing. Can EG get the initiation?
Run Terrorblade, the blink forward, the 4-star! It'll get him back into home, into safety.
Cat just in time with, just kidding, that was King RD, but if that the 58-minute 4-staff first item, just in time, saves the game.
Critical save.
No, it was the Bracer. The Bracer making the impact.
All right. So here comes SG, smoked up the jump forward. They're the ones to find the opening. It'll be Crit being brought down, forced off up. Loso won't protect him. 73 seconds without buyback, and this is when Roshan is available. This is the first Roshan, and I don't know how long that SG get to take themselves, unless EG want to do something spectacular.
This is maybe the hill to try to die on. It's kind of hard to say. But they've got buybacks on the other ones. It's just so difficult for them to get in there. If they make mistakes, it's just black hole.
The Night Stalk is the buffer. You can't get in.
Yeah.
You got no vision, and EG, like, SG know they have no vision.
Yeah, they're not going to bother. That's a really bad place to be in, though. The one hero that gets caught is the one that recently bought a Lotus Orb, all for the purpose of stopping what killed him, which was getting hexed.
Okay.
But he was the one in the front, gets caught.
So Aegis the Immortal goes to the Enigma. Mr. I still don't have Refresher Orb, but I'm going to go for a good haul.
He'll get there.
He will.
Got the GPM perk.
It's at 3.8k. Negative 40 seconds respawn time. Here's a bigger question. Do we actually see, for like, at least it'll be the first time for my competitive casting of a match, the 8+ demonic conversion Eidolons go for the full-out push with the conversions?
You know, this actually might be a game for it. It's not,
normally
but it
it's
might
terrible
be.
because it gives so much money, but right now, that may not even matter.
He's still not going to do it, but...
That's confidence from Cat.
Oh, that was that. They were happy that he got the GPM perk.
Instead of the negative 35 seconds respawn time. I don't know which one's actually going to be better for him, but I suppose he is so broke. He's at 5.4k net worth.
He's just playing for the long game. Based on how they've been playing the last 20, I think this is going to be a good 3-hour game.
That's
record-breaking income.
I'm ready. I'm prepared. Actually,
Yeah.
I ran out of Red Bull.
I hope that continues.
I would like a Red Bull delivered to the stage, please.
maybe the tournament never ends. That could happen. It's not late or
This is the
anything.
game that never ends. It's like Landtrop's play along. Here we go. Universe, jump forward. There's your stun. He wants to soak it. He's the sponge of EG Universe. Woohoo! Okay, I didn't think he would soak up that much.
They squeezed him real fast there.
Yep.
Heals up back to full, but that's his ultimate off
Here they
cooldown
go.
for a bit.
That's so many Terrorblades. Where is this clearance from EG? Fateball won't do
Oh
it.
my
Another hole! Catching the 3! The Hex, the Silence! The Rubik's controlled again! Another Dream Call! EG, you are gone! In the grave! 5 feet down! It is SG who own this home! They are still trying to do the work though. The Nether Rack's gone. The mass buybacks, they came out from EG to SG. They start their retreat. Universe the front lines. The smoke screen is perfect. Arteezy, Dogform, BKB, glowing gold like the Immortal, looking for a kill. He's going up deeper. Meanwhile, the Night Stalker on the back lines gets picked off, but they found the big one. It's the Terrorblade. Sun is available, but the Sun's the control of the smoke screen. They hold him there, and now Tarvo, he's the fresh meat on the plate. EG, you may have gone down, but as zombies, they are a formidable army. The Sunstrike connects. Tarvo will fall. He is all alone with no friends, and now it's up to EG to force the buybacks over on SG if it's possible.
It's going the other way around. EG was able to chase him down as she needed to get out of the base as soon as they all bought back. I don't think they were expecting to get cleaned up so hard, but with Lycan's speed, boy, did they get there fast. But only one buyback, actually, from the Dire team.
That's
Not
all they
a
had to
safe
do.
place. It is still the TB, but that guy is really hard to kill with Sunder and BKB.
It's Killer Puck. Dagon, Refresher, Killer Puck. Let's have a quick look at this fight again.
They all felt so safe spread around the barracks, but Tavo saw the team fight here, and he catches 3. And again, on the backline, disabling the Rubik.
Man, ADR has been right on the money for those hits. The Dream Call follow-ups, the perfect silence. Crit has just been covered like a hot rash. SG know how to get all over him. And now EG, again, do you face the timer? There's no Aegis Immortal to make SG wonder about taking the fight. And SG have a lot in the arsenal. They got 310 Refresher Orbs on Enigma, Puck, and Terrorblade.
So the question is, I mean, I feel like EG just has to play passive again. They're almost 35k net worth behind.
Yep.
But it still very heavily comes down to the black hole. I mean, SG's damage output is Terrorblade and Puck, I guess.
Yep.
But it's very Refresher based. It's not very like I right click and kill everybody. So despite being that far behind in net worth, EG can still win fights. So with that said, because they're so down on buybacks, even with the net worth deficiency, I think they have to play safe again. I think we're going to sit here for 6 more minutes.
Well, I'm okay with that. Wait for the next big hole, the double hole if possible next time. And SG, they're moving forward. They're going into the Radiant side. and they know what they want. They want the mid lane. That push came in from SG, but they weren't able to bring down the melee racks. They weren't able to give any kind of momentum to the lanes just yet. And this is what SG need to achieve. Metamorphosis. This is the critical thing. How much damage can he do with all of that under the covers? They trigger it now. Get the illusions up and running. Universe, you were the sponge last time. How do you approach it this time? Zai staying in close. Crit gets the lift over on the Terrorblade. The EMP, they want to burn the mana on him, but the Force Staffs actually get him out of range in time. So there's still a lot of mana on that Terrorblade. Melee Racked is falling quickly. The illusions are doing the work. Universe again knows he has to be the frontliner. He has to bring the attention of SG towards himself.
They're just poking. If they can get one kill here, it's going to break the uphill defense, but EG's doing everything they can to slow them down, and as Terrorblade's Metamorphosis falls off, they may go passive. They could also try to force it with Black Hole. They've got Refresher as well. This is probably one of their best shots to take the game here.
You look for that double Black Hole, Tavo. They get rid of the Wolf. They get rid of that Vision. Arteezy is desperately trying to get it, and he's committed to this fight. There's no BT, so there's no back shenanigans from the Lycan. He can't just BT up to that top lane, because that's where my mind initially turned. You can get SG to fall back with the double catapults pushing through the top. SG might consider the defense of their tier 3 tower. But where are those BTs? Where's the maneuverable Lycan? He just doesn't feel he can afford it.
Well, even with that tense moment passing, EG still got to be very careful. They still have a number of minutes, but unless they can catch Enigma by himself, there's no way they feel comfortable leaving the base heavily. They did spot out Tavo. It's daytime. Maybe this is their moment here.
25-second window before darkness is up. EG, yeah, they want it. They 4-man smoke. Ricky, obviously, not required for him. And the only option they kind of have is Cat, the Crystal Maiden. She's next to her shrine, standing his ground. Observer War's down, they break the smoke. Samel blinks up. Here goes a Tornado, catching Nightstalk, but where's the follow-up? The Ancients were attacking him, but they found the better one. They found Enigma. They need to bring him down before he can turn for the Black Hole. He turns the hole! It catches 3! Zai jumped into it! Tavo! Round 2! Here comes... No, he gets bashed! He doesn't get it off in time! The Enigma will fall! The Terrorblade in the midst of this fight, trying to pump out the damage. The Crystal Maiden can't do much more. Universe is all over on top of him, but EG, they're losing too many heroes with no buybacks available. It looks like SG are currently doing it, and GG 66 again. You think it might be almost a devil's number, but it's a magic number for this series. We're going to a third.
I cannot believe that SG has done it, man. Taking it to game 3. The Black Holes, we didn't see them for a very long time in this game, but when they came out, they mattered, and they easily won the fights.
Man, I'm classing this as the 66 series. It is a series which goes so long, so intense, the same amount of minutes for each one. You have to start spooning your friend for comfort. Strap yourselves in, the third is going to be terrific. I can't wait for it.
Well, we have no idea what's going to happen here. The drafts have been different each game. EG had such a good early laning stage, but SG getting into the team fight portion of the game and trading just well enough, bought them enough time to take it to game 3. And EG just constantly on the back foot. 5-man buyback into 5-man buyback into slowly defending. They had a great initiation. Just imagine how different that was if Arteezy got one more bash there. Yep. Enigma was so low. One more second of stun, and they would have gotten him and possibly won that fight, but it didn't happen.
And so much they had to look for, so many opportunities, and I cannot wait for more. The Dota will continue late into tonight. Burn the midnight oil, because we're coming back for game 3 after we catch a breath.
No breath to be caught here on the panel. We're tied up at 1-1 again. We're back exactly where we were almost 24 hours ago when SG took on Secret. It all looked hopeless to start with, but they've come storming back with some superb Black Holes, and SG have tied things up with EG once again. Gods, can you even believe this is happening again?
I can, because it happened yesterday. But
you kind of rewind and go, like, okay, yeah, I've got form.
Whew.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
They just have this will not give up attitude.
Their first LAN event, like on the big stage, I mean, they played at WSG kind of, which was like a much smaller level, but this is like the top teams in the world, and they're going head to head. These guys don't care what the name of their opponent is. They're just playing their game.
It's been really good, team, in terms of the quality that we've had in the games as well.
I hope people are done thinking they're the underdogs now. You know, I hope they think like people consider them to be on even footing with every team here. You just saw the quality of play coming out from this team. They just know what they're doing. I think they have a great leader. He knows how to keep everybody in check and playing together. And my god, like going late game against EG, some might say that, you know, they're like the kings of late game, and beating them there.
I mean, I look at every SG game and they seem to want to push it to late game. They want